So how's it going?
It's going great.
Chillin'. Have you seen Annie yet?
Yep, we just filmed an interview together.
Nice.
And she's the one who I've seen the most recently, so that's not as, always lovely to see Annie, and really great to reminisce with her and have the chance to, bounce off ideas off of her, right? Because it's, hard to remember everything from your time at Degrassi.
So hard. There's
ups
so many
and downs.
Well, they're asking you to, pick top moments.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, I always go to the ones that we had to do the most press for.
Yeah.
What have I talked about the most in the past? But
Holly J needs a new kidney.
Yeah, exactly. I went through, this morning, my Wikia page for my character just to, remember.
Oh my God, you're so well prepared. Good job.
Well, it was, hysterical because there's so many weird, one-off episodes, aka the one you came back where we just had, some...
That is so true. I was a student teacher for 1 second.
For a minute.
And then you and I disagreed on something. I don't even remember. What was it?
According to Wikia, it was some sort of essay situation. I wanted an extension. I was trying to be oh yeah, we're you're just
Buddy's
a student teacher.
Student teacher, yeah.
And
I
you're
totally
I mean
forgot
business.
about that. We've had a storyline together. Yeah, that was really bizarre. I came
Yeah.
for 1 second. I have to say, I am a fan of Holly J and Fiona's characters because they have such a lovely little relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Holly G's taking care of her.
Yeah.
Because your characters are not the same age. Or they were.
They were the same age, I think, because I was dating Declan, who was her twin brother, and we had classes together. Yeah, I guess we were the same age, but Fiona stayed back a year.
So what was it about Holly J that made her the responsible, let's look
Maternal
after
one?
Fiona? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I was saying to Annie, I think it's just because she was so sweet every time she was drunk. There was a scene where we were at an exam and she just dipped from the table and was just curled up on the gym mats, and Holly comes over and is okay, come on, little drunk mess, you gotta get up. so
My little drunk mess.
Yeah, and maybe it was because we're different ages in real life. Maybe that's a little bit of the dynamic, but also Holly J just by that point kind of had her stuff together, and Fiona was still struggling.
Well, in those moments, it's you can see that Holly J really cares about Fiona, and then Fiona, of course, falls in love with Holly J. How do you handle that? How would you handle that scenario in real life? I thought that was such a cool idea that a friend comes out and then says, you're the object of their affection.
I think, Holly J didn't handle it the best because she was very awkward about it. She just went over the top.
Yeah, she would sleep over, share a bed.
Yeah, but it didn't come from a hateful place, which was good because reading it initially, we were all kind of okay, don't be so weird about it. Just say I don't have feelings for you back, and that's it. But dramatic tension. They had to make it a weird situation for everyone involved. So, but it ended up being kind of a more, I don't know, I guess slapstick kind of thing. And Fiona realized very quickly that it wasn't, it was just, she was kind of projecting her feelings towards women on the closest person to her.
Of course, yeah.
So she wasn't hurt very badly by it. So that was a good thing, because otherwise it could have been pretty insensitive the way Holly was.
Yeah.
Was
she really wanted to keep Holly J as a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And they weren't right for each other.
Yeah.
And that was too
Holly
messy.
J was also not a lesbian, which is an important part.
She was not a lesbian, and she was dating her twin brother, so that was too messy. Anyways.
So Declan, really hot character.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought Declan was such a hot character.
Yeah.
Just the preppy schoolboy with money. Also,
Diplomat's son.
So handsome. And then there was Sav.
Uh-huh.
So could you pair, which one was you think Holly J's standout man? I just threw Sav under the bus. No, I'm then there was Sav. I just hung out with Ray, that's why I was I complimented him already. Then there was Sav, who was just so sweet and endearing, and of course Ray's so handsome.
Yeah. Well, I was a lucky girl getting to. You have these sort of shorter relationships. There'll be characters that just come in for one episode, and whatever, you have a little interaction with that, cute boy of the week. So Holly J had a couple of those, and then she settled down with Declan for a while. And I think ultimately Declan was the better person for her, and you to hope that they maybe ended up together in the end because they went to Yale. That's the last we saw them.
It was a hopeful ending.
It was hopeful. But there was definitely a contrast there. Yeah, the whole Declan relationship was a lot more brooding, and there was lots of very romantic. I think there was an episode where Holly J set up a dinner at school, like table and chairs, and like made food and like led him there, and it was all secretive. He like gave her like a diamond bracelet and all this kind of like, it was very, very romantic.
That's very intoxicating, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, ugh, amazing.
Yeah, they were caught like backstage, you know. There was like a scene where they were caught backstage making out, and then the curtain came and they were like in the middle of it. But then the stuff with Raymond was like a lot more.
Happens to all of us, really.
Yeah, like, you know, every time you're managing a theater,
Yeah.
your local theater production,
You're
and
gonna
the
be caught
diplomat's
making
son
out of
is
your
like
rich
opening your
boyfriend.
shirt.
But
Yes, the stuff with Ray was a lot more like, I don't know, friendly and silly.
you did, Holly J does strip for Sab,
Yeah,
doesn't, like in
Lems.
that boiler point room episode.
Wait, so that episode is so amazing when you think of all the stuff that happened, like Allie ending up in the boiler room, like
Or Ali, I know.
gonna make a bad choice
Drew
there,
and you stripping.
stabbing.
Well, you stripping. Holly
Yeah.
J stripping.
Well,
It was one of those moments for Mr. Simpson. I was like, damn, it has got to be easier to play a principal than B1 because that school was like
True.
falling apart.
and then we had uniforms after that because
Yeah.
of that dance, Vegas night. Yeah, shooting that stripping scene was not fun. It was like
Was it
early in the
awkward? Was it
morning. It was the day after
uncomfortable?
the MMVAs. Like
Oh,
we were all
God.
so hungover.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you save the stripping for when you're drunk, but this is like,
Yeah, it was like the bright like morning glare of
yeah.
like trying
No one
to.
wakes up the next morning and goes, who's ready to strip? Holly J is like the best friend. Helping her friend with like alcohol abuse and helping her friend going through a trial. I'm like, I need Holly J in my life because I swear to God, I need some things organized.
She wasn't always the best friend because when she was hanging out with Anya, that was like a very manipulative relationship where.
Yeah, but that was like the queen bee aspect of Holly
Yeah,
J. when
like
she
a little bit of
arrived.
immaturity too,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, because Holly J, speaking of the queen bee, Holly J was like the next queen bee after like Paige, Michael Chuck
Yeah.
kind of thing. And sisters to the alleged or elusive Heather Sinclair.
Yeah.
So 2 questions on that. What brand of queen bee like was Holly J?
What brand? You know what? In the end, like the best fit for her was the political, like queen bee. Like when she kind of got into that like Hillary
Yeah.
Clinton zone where she was like doing debates and like speeches and stuff. That was the best fit for her
Yeah.
because it wasn't so mean. Like it wasn't putting other people down. It was just like, I know what I can bring to this school. I know I have what it takes
Yeah.
to like, right?
And that's a really smart way of doing it. It's like I could just be bitchy to everybody, or I could run things. You know, I can
Yeah.
take this school over.
Cut the middleman.
Yeah.
Like I'll just yeah, and maybe that's a lesson. If you're kind of a bossy person, you got to find something that works for you that you could channel that into. That's
True.
positive.
Very true. Use it.
Mm-hmm.
Heather Sinclair. I'm obsessed with Heather Sinclair because
Same.
we've never seen her.
I know. I still hope
Yeah.
for that.
Well, my thought is like, if someone was to play Heather Sinclair, who would you
Oh my
pick?
God, I know. Dream Heather Sinclair.
Like, if we could cast anybody as Heather Sinclair, then put her up against Paige, Michael Chuck.
Like maybe Amy Schumer right
Oh
now.
my
I feel like
God,
that'd be
that'd be
perfect,
so good.
Because she can be like,
It's so good.
be cutting and yeah, like I feel like, yeah, that would be my.
I would just die for Amy Schumer to just be a high school student, just like at Degrassi, and we
Unexplained.
just accept it.
And she's still like Heather Sinclair just shows up still
Yeah.
in grade 12, like she's been there all along.
Like she hasn't
She
left?
never ages. That would be.
I feel like Amy Schumer could find a way to make that work.
Yeah.
That perfect sarcastic comedy. So let's see how well you know Holly J.
Okay.
I think I have a trivia that could stump you. Oh, I have it. I have a really good trivia. It kind of goes into something that I found a bit bizarre, but
Okay.
how much did Holly J's biological mother ask for her kidney?
I do know this. 20 grand.
$20,000.
$20,000.
That storyline to me was just like, what?
I know.
Like-
It just like got escalated so quickly. It was like, okay, like first of all, I peed my pants. That's how it all started. Then I need a kidney transplant, so that's pretty heavy. Then I find out like, oh, I'm the only person in my family that doesn't have this blood type. Wait a second, there's
Oh
no
my God,
baby
you're right.
pictures of me. It was a little bit like, how
And,
could
like-
you be so oblivious? Like, you've never seen a baby photo of yourself?
So true.
Um,
You're so right. Now you're adopted.
yeah.
Okay. And
And
then
then
just when things couldn't get.
Meet her, then I'm like, can I have a kidney? Then she's like, $20,000, please. Then we had to, there's like a scene where Fiona's like,
So
I looked
true.
into it, selling an organ is definitely illegal.
Illegal
Like, you
in
can't pay for
Canada.
an organ.
Yes, okay.
So.
And then how is it solved? Something about a vintage dress?
Oh
Is
my
it
God,
solved?
yes. So Fiona sells her vintage prom dress, happens to go for $20,000.
So that you can take that money and give it to your biological
Yeah,
mother.
and then did I just pay her for a kidney? I guess. There was some kind of
Yeah,
loophole
because
with the dress.
it kind of ended like she was wearing Holly J's biological mother is wearing the dress in a photo from her prom.
Uh-huh.
It's like a throwback Thursday situation.
Oh, that's
and,
it.
And
it's
then
the
Fiona's
opposite
like,
way. Fiona buys the dress
yeah,
from
so
her,
Fiona
so it's
goes
not the
exactly.
not the
So
kidney.
she pays for Holly J's kidney transplant by buying the dress.
Yeah.
For $20,000.
Which is clever.
Very clever and good friends.
Works out for all of us.
Good friendship, and you know what? Holly J needed that.
Yeah.
After being there for Fiona, I was like, I'd up that to 40 grand. You know, just saying. All right, just to end, let's see how well my Holly J knowledge is. Shoot me a question. Do you have a way to stump me?
Krista,
Stump me? Like,
what do you think?
like how much did your Holly J's biological mother ask for your other kidney?
Oh man, it's hard to. Okay, well, I don't know if you know this, but what is the song that Raymond's band Stoods
Shoot, is this
sang about Holly J?
Is this in season 9?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
gosh, I
early
think
days.
I'm rusty
Wait,
in
maybe
season
like
9. I would have no. Krista, do you know? I would have no idea. Is it like?
It's just one sentence repeated over and over again, and that is, Holly J sucks.
I was gonna say My Beautiful Holly J or something. It's the opposite. Holly J sucks.
Holly J sucks. Holly J sucks. Holly J sucks.
Well, on that note, hashtag Holly J sucks, apparently. All right, thanks for hanging out.
Thank
and bringing
you.
me down Holly J memory lane. It was a delight.